What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy J Viz, aka Joe. This is In the Know with Joe, the relaunch, baby. We're back. That's right. And I got a very special guest. This is like my sis. You guys wouldn't even believe we're from the same city, same town, but we met each other in Georgia. Introducing my special guest, Katana J.
Hey, shalom, y'all. What's popping and all that? Your girl Katana J in the building, and that's right. I'm here with the homie Joe. I can't believe we met each other in Atlanta.
I'm gonna tell you about Katana. See, Katana is just like me. We're broadcasters, so she talking like it's her podcast right now. So I love it. We both personalities. I will let y'all know that Katana is moving out of state, and eventually we will be doing remote broadcasting with her as a remote special guest. It's very important to me because we're from the same town. Our hustle and our grind is very similar. So it's like it's hard to make it out here for other people, but for us, it's a different feel. We come out here and we hustle.
Oh yeah, and definitely, like you said, I agree with you. And coming from Amboy, coming from Jersey, where it's funny because I feel like with a lot of the people that I come across, they even say it like when you're up top for some reason. People show love, but not a lot of love. Yeah. But when you leave town and you meet those, it's the energy. It's got to be, you know what? Somebody needs to make a really, really big bottle of agua de Florida and just dump it all over New Jersey.
So what you're saying is pretty much if me and you met back in Jersey, most likely I'm like, yo, what up? And kept it moving.
I don't know.
But now it was like, yo, let's do this. No, that's real.
Right. I mean, it's real because to be honest, think about it. When you're in Jersey or like up top, people, they don't really make eye contact. They walk past each other. That's how we were brought up. You don't look at people on the bus. You don't look at people on the train. You just keep walking. But like out here, even though I'm not going to stunt, Southern hospital, it's not the way that they say it. But yes, people do. Yeah. Hey, how are you? More than up top.
It even could be like rude. I learned out here like bless your heart is an insult. It could be a good thing and a bad thing. So lady said one time to me, bless your heart. And my wife's black, so she was like, babe, that's an insult. That's an insult. Like, I'm like, what you mean? They're being sarcastic. So I'm like, so there's a lot of things I did have to learn out here, like what flexing means. Because I've been out here for 10 years. Don't get it twisted. So when I moved out here, a lot of the lingo wasn't the same. Because back home, they talking like, I mean, let's be honest. Let's put this out there right now, too. Hip hop has been taken over by ATL for a very long time. And I will tell you right now, it's hard to be from up north. You see the New York hat, like we know where it came from, but we know that the South is holding it down right now. And now up north, they're really grabbing on to taking this music and making it their own. So they're giving a new feel. Like on your podcast, you had an artist and he's from up north and he got a good sound. Like, I love new sounds. Something different. I'm tired of hearing the same thing. Yeah. I like hearing different. Like, for artists to sing and rap, like you said, like similar to Drake, it's different because everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's rapping about pills, OD, and stuff like that. So
drugs, fucking, and all that.
Like, what happened to our music?
Man, let me tell you, it's true. And honestly, like, I don't want to sound biased just because I am from up top, and I do prefer more of like a boom bap type of sound, and you know what I mean. I like the Bari rap, and I like they come like but
switching up their style,
right? And when the transition where Southern hip hop started bringing out more popularity was more based upon swag. Because remember, the generations that are younger than us, they swaggy. They like to be swaggy. You know what I mean? And they do all these different, and it's cool because we did that in our time too. But okay, so now is where I'm trying to get into the whole like I can't be stuck in I have to embrace some of the new music. I'm not a big trap fan.
It's catchy. Driving your truck.
Right. Well, some of them do kind of like they give you a bop. They give you a bop. Yeah. But my personal preference is more music that like is conscious, things that is gonna tell you teach you something, or give you a perspective to be like,
I know the reason why we're talking music is because I wanted to give you guys a little insight of where we're from. We're from up north. We have a lot of things in common. So just so you know that we're not off subject, we're talking music, we're talking up north, we're talking us. But I'm gonna just let you guys know what Katana does. She's an artist, she's an MC, she's a tattoo model. I mean, she does tarot card reading. I mean, she's a host, Cutting Up with Katana J. You know what I'm saying? You definitely check out her YouTube page, Cutting Up with Katana J. She's a host. She got a lot of artists. I mean, we definitely collaborate. We definitely like to stick together. Like I said, one thing that was important for me is that I knew she was from my town. And we met, and shout out to Live Hip Hop Daily, the studios. We met there, and connecting the dots. Shout out to my homegirl over there because
Kimmy, shout out Kim.
That's how we met. She was like, "Yo, you from up north?" I came like a day or two later after you was at the podcast, and I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Where you from?" And I was like, "From Amboy." And she's like, I was like, "You from Jersey?" She's like, "Oh, I'm from Jersey." And where you from? She's like, "I'm from Amboy." She's like, "Stop lying," because I just had a girl in here from Amboy. I was like, "That's impossible," because I know everybody from Amboy, especially if she's around my age. Right. And they were like, they showed me. I was like, I have no clue who this girl is. But yo, we met each other. It was like we knew each other our whole lives.
Right.
Up north, I just noticed. You know, I used to say like everything out here, like clubs and everything's hidden. You know what I mean? But now I'm realizing that it's getting popular. This is the new Hollywood, man.
Absolutely. And especially for like film and things like that. And what's cool
I live close to Pinewood.
Right, like you said, you literally could be outside just walking your dog, and somebody with a camera be like, "Yo, you want to be on my YouTube channel?"
That's a fact, and that ties into my question right here, Miss Atlanta Ugly, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's called Atlanta's Ugly. Yeah.
That's a popping YouTube show. Talk to me about that. How did you get on it first of all, and how many seasons did you rock with them, and are you still rocking with them? How's it going?
I am still rocking with them. We are right now. We're showing and releasing season 5. Okay. We're already recording into season 6. I hopped in season 4. And how that came about. Funny story, Ebony.
Yeah, my girl Ebony.
Yeah, Ebony. So shout out to Ebony, Miss Dope Chocolate from Forever Dope Management.
Dope Management, holla.
Right. So with her, I got linked up with her. And matter of fact, my best friend Danny Ray from New Jersey, she was in New Jersey and hooked me up with Ebony.
So they know each other.
Yeah, from social media. Yeah, because my best friend in Jersey does media too. Shout out Danny Ray, La Cocina Podcast, and the Danny Ray Show.
Listen, La Cocina Podcast is popping though. Let's not.
I love that show.
That's not even my business partner. He be talking like that's a dope podcast. Like,
yo, listen, I'm telling you, and I've done like I went to school for audio engineering, production, communication, all that stuff, but like. I really learned a lot, like helping her curate the show and like starting with it. And then even when I left Atlanta and she still kept going, it was dope. But going back to Atlanta's Ugly, so long story short, Danny Ray hooked me up with Ebony. Okay. Ebony and I was chilling. She was hosting an event at Sweet Lounge. Okay. She was like, after that, I'm gonna be recording with Atlanta's Ugly. I don't know any of it, whatever. So I go, and then they're like, "Hey, you want to be an extra?" Sure. It went from me having like a cameo setting just to pop in my IGs and stuff like that to having an on-rolling, incurring role. Yeah. And now it's almost
a cast member.
Right. And it's to the point now where I'm
just like, walking girl Katana. It's you actually have a character name now.
Right. Katana J on Atlanta's Ugly is a tattoo model who also sells cocaine. Woo. She has a very big cocaine ring. And then she kills people. I knew there's some she assassins her enemies with her katana sword.
Listen, when in doubt, Katana's around, there's going to be some blood involved. And it's not real blood, but she's also, that's another hidden talent. This girl could literally, like, for Halloween, like,
that's dead, baby.
We talking about some, what do you call that?
Special effects,
yes. Makeups and stuff like that. Like,
I love it.
Dope. Like, if you definitely check out the episode, there's definitely. I remember you doing that.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Yeah. I slice throats.
Yes. Now, do you do everything from where the blood comes, all that stuff, from the makeup, how it actually comes, all that?
Well, stuff? from mine. So we've started to incorporate that more. In the scenes, because before that and when I'm not there, they do use digital editing and stuff like that for blood and all that.
But it doesn't look the same. It kind of looks like it's thrown in there image wise.
And the crazy part is that I do a homemade mixture where I do Vaseline and flour, and I put a little bit of like the foundation powder.
Don't worry, we're gonna cut that out because you can't get her secrets.
So a little foundation powder to match the color. And then I will use the lash glue to be the adhesive. So what I would do is I'll put it on there. And since it's the flour and stuff like that, it's softer so you can manipulate it more. So when I would run the blade across, a piece of it would look like a piece of chunk of flesh just coming right off.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Where did you get into that type of stuff? I mean, in general, we do know you're an artist, but there's different. There's acrylic canvas artist, there's resin art.
Right.
I mean, where did you get into that? Like wanting to be in the gory blood, you know what I mean? And are you into like just the gory, or are you into like doing like the alien sci-fi type stuff?
Oh yeah. Okay. So for me, it's funny how I got into makeup. I got into makeup, of course, as a little sister. I want to piss my big sister off. That is my goal in life. Piss Fallon off. So remember back in the day when dark lipstick and oh my God, that was like you're gothic, you're evil, you're like, so I would put on black lipstick or dress myself more gothic like when I would have to run errands with my sister to like go to the store to piss her off because she would be embarrassed.
Oh, just because?
Just because. Just to do it. Just be an asshole. So while I started doing that, I would start like almost like face painting. Started doing different things. Black lip liner with pink in the inside. All these different things. And then people were like, yo, you're good at that. And I'm like, I am. And I never liked wearing makeup. I only started wearing makeup because I started working for a retail cosmetics company.
Okay, so you had no choice.
Right. I had no choice. It was a part of the
paycheck,
uniform.
You better figure it out.
Right. You want that paycheck, you better wear it.
Yeah.
So that's how that came on fast forward. But that's where that came from. So when it came to special effects and stuff like that, it was just more how I tell people, I like making people pretty, but I love making people ugly.
I mean, I love it all.
Oh, I love making people ugly and scary.
I love that sci-fi show when it first came out, the competition show. I forget the name of it, but when they have all the
Face Off.
Face Off. When that first came out, I mean, to me, that's a bomb show. When you could take somebody's regular and literally like, and they show the transformation. I'm like, yo, and then when I met you, I'm like, yo, you doing that? Like, that's fire.
I literally have done that. So if you guys check out my Instagram, official Katana J, you scroll down a little bit to the old stuff. Yep. I love doing, I love doing different types of photo shoots. Yeah. So we had gotten this beautiful Colombian chick, and we had a hairdresser, myself as the makeup artist, and a nail tech. We were actually putting everything together for to submit it for a competition show. Yeah. It was called Global Beauty Masters. Nice. And it was crazy because we actually did get selected, but they sold the show to a different network. So it was a wrap. So we had to wait and start over scratch, and nothing ever came of it. At least I don't think anything came of it. But we turned the chick into Medusa. So what we did was the hairdresser bought fake snakes and put them into her hair. I took fishnet and put scales all over her body. And then I made her face makeup look like she was going from pretty to like scary. And then here's the best part. The nail tech, she ordered fresh shedded snake skin off of Amazon. Damn. And put real snake skin on the girl's nails. I think you had told me that one. That's fire. That shit was crazy. I mean,
that's an upgrade right there.
Right. And then we just went to like Hobby Lobby or something and just grabbed like some pillars and just threw them on the side, put a blanket over his gate, made our own facade and did our own thing. You know what I mean? It literally felt like we were on the show.
Yeah. Well, as you guys can see, in between us is some of her work from Toxic Bear. So what I want to say is that you can tell that she's a creative soul, as you can see. Like, nothing's regular about Katana. I know that for a fact. When I first walked into the crib, I'm like, yo, nice artwork. And she's like, oh, that's mine. Like, all of that's what you're talking about. I'm talking about somebody who's going to make their own. Like, my thing is branding. You know what I mean? Like, before I came here, I had a different shirt on. But if I'm running my podcast, I'm definitely putting on our brands because it's important to market your own stuff. So when I walked into her house, every wall had a piece of art on it. It was dope. And I was like, yo, it's dope. And I didn't even know it was hers. So she got the real opinion. You got the, you know what I'm saying? It's not like me coming, oh, this is your stuff. Let me say it's great.
Right.
And then you're like, yo, that's my shit. I'm like, yo, that's fire. And then remember you started showing me all this stuff. And I'm like, yo.
And it's crazy how things developed because even with like Toxic Bear and stuff like that.
Which is a whole series. That's just one character. It's kind of fire. And just to give you insight, she does take personal friends and like Rose Ivy's a character. Like, it's dope, yo. And to have somebody to be able to do that and take your product and make your friend, that's dope. Because now she can rock around anytime and say that she's the such and such. You know what I mean?
Right. So, and like even something like just as simple.
Where does this come from, though? Where does Toxic Bear come from?
Okay.
Where does that vibe come from? Because that's different. That's not regular.
So it's funny how Toxic Bear came about, right? I'll tell y'all the story. So, new to Atlanta, have no friends, bored as fuck, makeup artist, plenty of makeup. I don't want to paint my face. Sure, let's paint our leg. Why not?
Okay.
So I start taking makeup. I'm painting on my leg with makeup. Have no idea what I'm doing. All of a sudden, I'm drawing a bear. I drew a bear's head.
Okay.
And then from drawing the bear's head, I then drew the body. From drawing the body, I don't know why I drew a balloon. Okay, so then I drew a balloon, all this other shit, right?
Yeah.
Here's the story of Toxic Bear. So, you know, like the Planet of Care Bears? There's a planet of, like almost like a Planet of Care Bears, there's a planet of bears. Mm-hmm. And what happens is they get overthrown by these evil balloon aliens.
Okay.
Right? And what these balloon aliens are doing, they're forcing them to be toxic. They're making them negative, nasty, depressive, all of that, right? So what Toxic Bear does is Toxic Bear actually escaped and came to Earth. Okay. And what he's doing in Earth is he goes around, if you see, he has a spray can, he's sitting on a cinder block, he has paint there.
Tagging up.
So what he's doing is he's going around the world, tagging up positive affirmations, manifestations, because what he wants to do is he wants to remind the world and himself, you were once positive and you can be and still be positive.
Boom, that's important.
Even though that balloon still chases him, is no matter what, I gotta be positive and I gotta send the message out to everybody, be positive. Because he's gotta do it for himself, but for others.
That makes perfect sense.
And so if we bring it into a reality, a human standpoint of it, I have globophobia.
Okay.
I have a fear of balloons.
Do you?
Yes.
So you don't like Pennywise? And his red balloon.
I mean, I'm not scared of clowns. I don't like balloons. The balloon by itself.
Yeah, you don't like you're not scared of him, but he's holding in his hand.
What he's holding in his hand is a problem.
So everybody's scared of the clown.
I'm not
scared of the balloon.
I'm scared of his balloon.
Hey,
that's a fact.
But that's a phobia, and that's very important to people to know that. And that's another. And just real quick, that's what we're gonna get into next too. Is mental and health and stuff like that, because you know, not understanding that you can grind all day. But everybody has issues and problems in their life, and it's just real. You know
it is.
So that being said, let's talk tarot cards, and then we're gonna go into, because the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to show people how hard you work, and that how there's real life as well that you have to deal with.
Right.
And that's your health. And people don't understand that you can bust your ass all day. When you get home,
they
you
don't
take them
see
shoes
the
off. Yeah, they don't see that your man rubbing your feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't see what we go through. You know what I'm saying?
At all.
So, and that's my thing. So the last thing for you on your talent is tarot card reading. Now, where did that come about? Because I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban. You know, in Cuba, there's a lot of things like brujeria and stuff like that, and we try to teach people like this black magic, there's bad and good, and then people don't know what the Santeria bees mean. They don't know all this. They don't know your style. They think, yo, shorty is just different, but they don't realize that the chains on your neck mean a lot. They don't realize that, you know what I'm saying, that there's things you can do that other people can't do. So just give the people a little insight on what you do when it comes to tarot card reading and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So with the tarot card reading, it's actually crazy. Tarot. T-A-R-O-T. Yes, tarot. All right. I'm Puerto Rican. I can't spell. Shut up.
Shit,
so anyway, right? So how the whole tarot card and spirituality and all that stuff came about. Again, Puerto Rican, Caribbean descent. It always comes two different ways when you're of Caribbean descent. It's either you're pure like Christian Catholic hardcore religious, or you're hardcore spiritual. I came from a family that was very Catholic, but what was crazy was, like, as I got older, there was this picture of my great grandmother. She's sitting on a bench, kind of wood table like this, and she had a pack of Marlboros and a set of tarot cards. And the tarot card that was on top of it was the Two of Swords. Now, what swords represent is the nothing. Swords represent air signs, which represent they are of the mind. So with that, with the swords, with the two, it was crossed like this. It's almost like, and it's blindfolded, that card. So it's like you're trying to protect yourself. It's like, I'm afraid and I want to protect myself, even though I can't see what's going on. I just know something's about to happen. You know, that's what that kind of card means, at least to me, when I look at it by itself. So,
and I like that you said, at least to me.
Right.
So explain to people that different meanings
of spirituality. Right. So fast forwarding, grew up Catholic, so it was like, no, can't do that. No, it's not, whatever. But as I started getting older, I'm like, okay, well, started redoing my own research, tapping in a little bit more with things, and actually realizing it's not the whole angels and demons, heaven and hell, and tapping into it. Doesn't have to be all of that. When I do my tarot cards, I look at them like if it's a game of chance. Let's play a game of chance. Let's play a game of poker. What hands come out for you? The cards that come out for you, I'll tell you what the card means individually by itself, and then I'll tell you what the card means when it's next to other cards. So what it really is so when I'm doing my readings, okay, we'll go, what's the intention? We're talking about love, career, finance, general. You just want to see what the universe has for you. And all it is, it's about intention. So it's breathing, putting your energy in there. If you don't have faith in something, it's not going to be. And when you do card readings, again, like what we were saying, it's interpretive. So you take what resonates to you and you leave what doesn't resonate to you, and it's okay.
I'm about to remind you about something that happened. Remember the lady on Smith Street?
Which one?
On Smith Street.
Are you talking about the coffee lady? Wow. No, not the coffee lady.
And this is my thing with people,
where she's in the Botanica?
Yeah, and
by the hut.
But they just closed down like a few years back. But the reason my whole entire childhood, like she had a store open, and that's all she does. And you know, it's a controversy whether people believe it or not. Right. But why, even in Douglasville, if you go on Chapel Hill Road, there's a little building. A lady, I don't know if it's a lady or male, but it's a tarot card reading place and stuff like that. Still open. So you tell me this, because people say, "Oh, well, it got to be fake." Then why are all these places still open? Because they've been open for 30 plus years.
So what it is it's very underground. People believe in it, but they don't want other people to know they believe in it.
That's what I'm trying to figure out for a long time.
It's even like with my beads, right? So I don't really wear my beads out in public like that, especially out. I usually have them tucked in. I have a shorter shirt, so it's hard. But what these are what they call protection beads. I have a company called Shalom and All that, where I make spiritual, Afro spiritual inspired jewelry. I make protection beads, waist beads, necklaces, anklets, things of that nature. So what it is you're basically using it as like I said, a symbol for protection. So what it does is when you, like for me, I just do natural oils, some like Palo Santo, which is just like it's like a blessed wood.
Yes. Which I learned about between you and my boy Rivy. Shout out to Rivy the artist, blessing all his pictures before he even starts. You know what I
mean? Right. So what it basically does is it, if one of them was to break, it basically means it took the fall for whatever negative energy was to come to you.
The shield.
Right, like a shield. So almost kind of like crystals in a way. Because like so if a crystal breaks, they usually say the crystal received that energy. Yeah. So if a crystal breaks, usually the crystal received whatever energy that was coming your way that didn't serve.
And what we rocking in my house right now is the Himalayan salt.
Oh, yes.
So I didn't know. So the benefits, I didn't know it was more benefits than I just thought, because my little brother Edwin said in Jersey there's a whole place where it's actually a Himalayan salt room.
Yes.
So, but I had the little thing at home, and I just bought the little things, the little rocks that you can put on the burner. So I'm like, yo, there's no smell. My wife's like, it's not about smell. And I started reading the importance about it. It definitely does calm me down when I'm in my office doing anything. If I'm making empanadas and stuff, I burn that.
Yeah, you gotta try a bath. Like do it like it's Epsom salt.
So we have the Himalayan salt one. We just bought it, and I haven't tried it yet.
Yes.
So I'm like, that's dope.
And you can literally feel the difference.
I have Himalayan salt to cook
with. Yes.
And it's great.
Oh my! And you know what? You could even use pink Himalayan salt.
That's what I use.
So for your crystals and stuff like that at home, you can utilize that to cleanse them.
That's what we have.
So so if you like, let's say you want to cleanse them in between a full moon, like you don't want to wait for the full moon to come and set them outside on the moonlight.
I didn't even know that.
You can put your stuff outside in the moonlight and recharge them from the moon. It's actually the strongest charge.
But I didn't even know about the charge. So you got to put me on game about all that charging stuff. Think
of it like a cell phone. Yeah, think of it like a cell phone. You wear it enough, you're gonna start drowning out the batteries. Okay. You have to reset the batteries so that they can be strong enough to work for you.
All right. So my question is: so now you have all these things to help you block and help all this stuff, and now we're gonna get into the nitty gritty, which is the most important thing to me. Is telling the people that you're a hard worker, yo. Like you just named like 6-7 projects that you do, right? But tell them what happens when you get home. Tell them the truth. Tell them what's going on with your body. And is what you do, like, is this a reflection? Did this protection and all that stuff come from what's going on inside, or is that something that you did beforehand and it's just helping you go through this journey of what you're going through? And please explain the disease, tell the people, because all I know is about what my brother has is Crohn's. And when I met you, it was like, yo, Crohn's don't have nothing on what I have.
Well,
sense,
no.
You know,
well, no. Actually, that's reversed because Crohn, yeah, it's reversed because Crohn's is actually the more on top from what I have.
Okay.
So guys, okay. Full disclosure, I have 5 autoimmune illnesses. 5 of them.
Not one.
So not one, but 5. So I have, and it started off with endometriosis. It went to adenomyosis, which those are basically female-only illnesses that attack the inside of the female body. It's basically the lining of the woman's uterus. It's found blood splatters outside of the uterus. So it actually, you're internally bleeding is more or less what you're doing because there's nowhere for the blood to dispel. Then alongside with that, I have ulcerative colitis, which is the one underneath Crohn's. So Crohn's is so ulcerative colitis like the cousin there. Right underneath it, right? So also the same like with fibromyalgia. I have fibromyalgia.
I've heard of that one.
Fibromyalgia is underneath lupus.
And that's very common.
Right.
And lupus is
bad. Lupus is really bad. Fibromyalgia is just a portion of it. So fibromyalgia is overactive nerves. Okay. So which a lot of people who have either sustained some type of trauma, whether it's mental, physical, whatever, they really don't know how you develop fibromyalgia because it's like I said, it's overactive nerves. So all of that, and then I have metal in my neck.
Metal in your neck.
Yeah, I have metal in my neck from a car accident. I have a plate and 2 screws. So what happens to me is
the airport is kind of rough.
I mean, honestly, no.
Never had an issue?
You know, when the airport was an issue, I had an internal TENS unit in my back. So I had a battery inside my skin, and then I had 2 leads on my spine that laid like that. So what it was doing was it sends these pulsations and different types of sensations. And the thought process is, well, if the body is feeling 2 separate sensations, it'll tone down the height. Like, so instead of 1 super bad pain, it's 2 mediocre pain.
I'd rather 2 than I have rather 2
mediocres than 1 super. So, and that's also where tattoo therapy, for what I call tattoo therapy, comes into play for me, where tattoo modeling came in. So tying everything together. Yes. So tying everything together.
I'm a big baby when it comes to tattoos.
Oh, see, and that's the thing is that I guess I have a high tolerance for pain because of my illnesses. What happened?
My experience was, I'm not gonna say no names, but you know, in Jersey there was this certain guy doing tattoo parties, aka Willow, and I think so. This tattoo right here, this is all like just the straight lining needle.
He did it with liner.
He was doing the coloring, yo. So me and my wife, when I tell you I had a video on Facebook like years ago of my wife screaming at the top of her lungs, and all she was getting the cancer logo on the tramp stamp area, screaming and crying like, stop. I'm like, yo,
what's been heavy-handed?
I mean, he's heavy, so he's heavy-handed. My man was like, and I was like, yo, this is painful, yo. See? So it literally took away the love of tattoos for me because this was my first one, and he did this one too, but this one came out, it was easy as letters.
Right.
So I'm like, it's nothing. You're using the right machine. This hurt. The red and the flag and everything.
And that's why it's always important to go to a really, really good artist. Know who you're going to.
I'm going to my homegirl Staten Island, baby. You know what I'm saying?
RT Ashley. Shout out RT Ashley in Staten Island. If you're in Atlanta, you can always get tattooed by DB Wyatt, or you can get tattooed with Casino. Just let them know Katana J sent you. You know what I'm saying?
You got the plug going on.
Right, but then so
that's therapy. So
tying back to everything we were saying.
Pills, that'll help you out with this.
Right, so that's what was happening because you know in Jersey there was a time where they were just pushing pills. Yeah. I got to a point where I didn't want that. I didn't want that life. So I started doing things like I said, tattoo therapy, and then it got to a point where it's like, okay, I like tattoos. It's helping me with my pain. How can I make money off of it? And how can I utilize it for my brands? That's when I started doing tattoo modeling and stuff like that. So having that barter exchange with tattoo artists for the things that I can do, editing videos, making illustrations, modeling for them, whatever. And I sit well. I can sit through the pain. I'll fall asleep.
I can't.
You know what I mean?
But, so now you're picky with your tattoos then?
So with my artists, yes, because now what's happening is I'm running out of space.
But you're also picky, now that you're running out of space, you're also picky with
from experience.
What you put where?
From the experience. So what happens is like, you want to kind of like, you want to be comfortable with your artist. You want to know that your artist understands your vision as well as you understand their vision. You know what I'm saying? And it's a little different when you are the customer versus when you're bartering with someone. Because when you're bartering with someone, it's got to kind of have a give and take in there. But we've
learned that from experience here at J-Wiz Productions,
right? but when you are the paying client, they should be able to have proper bedside manner. They should be able to show you how cleanly they are, how clean they are, you know, things of that nature. So that's why I really appreciate Casino, because he's done my piercings twice already for me. We're actually getting ready to do a nice big tattoo piece. DB Wyatt and I have a tattoo piece coming up. But yeah, again, just it was like, fuck, bro. I don't want to be this sickly person stuck in the bed all the time. Like I have all this big. Before I got sick, I had all this big energy and I had all these aspirations and wanted to do all this shit. But then when I would get home, like you said, I could barely walk. I could barely lift my legs.
How many times I call you like I'm like, sis, you sound like crap. You're like, yo, I'm having my episode.
It takes me 3 or 4. Sometimes it takes me a couple days to get better, just from like, let's say, like doing something like today where I interviewed artists and now I'm being interviewed. People don't realize like, yeah, I'm being myself, but at the same time, when you're in front of a camera, you are an entertainer, so there is a certain energy you're applying, and it takes a lot out of you sometimes. It's fucking tiring.
It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of work, you know?
Bro, for real. So like sometimes there has been times where I've done a really big event and it's taken me a week, or I worked for the retail cosmetics company and I worked through a ruptured cyst. So I worked 4 days while having a ruptured cyst in my body, then went to the hospital, and then was in the hospital for 2 weeks because I had to have surgery, emergency surgery.
But you're also showing the people that
nothing's
going to stop you.
Fuck no.
Nothing's going to stop you.
I don't know. And you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. There's many a times where like when I'm having my episodes where I'm just like, bro,
I don't want to do this no more.
If I was a boy, if I was a boy,
I was about to say right now, hey, we ain't paying for that.
Right, fuck that shit. But anyway, no, you know what I mean? So like, but at the same time, like you said, I have to remember that there are others out there like me.
But this is a female thing.
Right. Well, 2 of them, yeah.
2 out of the 5.
2 out of the 5 are female things. So for me specifically, for them to show, because the sad part about it is because it's a female issue, just like I almost want to say it's almost the equivalent to men and mental illness.
Okay.
I feel like they don't want to talk about it. It's something that
shout out to Charlamagne the God. He's really making a lot of grown celebrity men really put this conversation out there. Like, and
it has to be talked about. It's not only women that have emotions and feelings.
A lot of people are in therapy. A lot of people.
Yo, especially because nowadays with everything going on with the pandemic, is that people are getting social anxiety. People are getting, just bacterial anxiety, stuff like that. It's crazy.
You're afraid to touch doorknobs now.
What?
Same doorknobs we've been touching for 35 plus years.
Right. The same gas station you've been going to every day. Your ass is scared to go now.
That's a fact. But that's my thing though. So masking up, does that like beforehand, were you a mask person? Like, is germ something that's
so okay? So
what's a trigger? That's what I want to know. What's a trigger? What triggers you? Is it just stress and a lot of
my illnesses?
Yeah, or is it?
There's certain triggers. Yeah, there's certain triggers, and everybody's is different. Where like somebody, the cold works for them. They can use ice packs. I cannot use cold. I can't use ice packs. I don't like the cold. It hurts.
Using the warm.
The heating pad. Yeah, I use a heating pad a lot.
I see you. I
use a heating pad a lot. Before my boyfriend came in the picture, I called it my boyfriend.
Oh, there you go.
My heating pad was my boyfriend because it was always attached to me.
Heating pad jealous, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, even down to me like having my dog, my Xena. She's my ESA animal, emotional support animal. And most people like
shout out to Xena.
Right. Shout out to my piggy for the one time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because like with having animals or pets in your life or kids, anything like that, it gives you a purpose. It pushes you for something. I have to feed her. I have to walk her. I have to, wash her, do these different things. So it was helping me.
And you don't play with your dog. I know, because you should be like, yo, we got this event coming up, but check it out though. If it's gonna be 5-6 hours, I gotta make sure I walk my dog, feed my dog, get somebody to watch. Like that's
I have to make sure that somebody is there to watch. Because the thing is people it's a pet, but it's a living thing that actually cares and gives a fuck about you. Like, and it's crazy because the bully, the pit breed, they're very resilient and loving animals.
Yeah,
you can do anything to them and they will still love you and be like, how can I do it better?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I love about
How can I get a
them.
better stomach for Alan?
Right. Even though, my dog Xena, she's an Aries, so she could be very fiery and, feisty and stuff like that. Cause she's like, okay, I'll do it, but when I want to.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
my thing is, it's hard for dogs to, you know what I'm saying, not be like, if that's your dog, like, you going, like, she missing you just as much.
They don't tell time, and I actually said that yesterday. They don't know if you're going to be gone for 5 minutes or forever, and you're never coming back.
Stop putting TV on for your dog. He don't give a shit. Like,
that's not true.
That's a very true thing, though. You know why? Because as soon as you leave your house, your dog's over there in your sock drawer figuring something out.
I guess it depends on the dog because, of course, Katana J's dog. Yeah, Katana J's dog watches
got a
TV.
Regular show.
The first movie she ever watched was Mission Impossible 4, and she did it by herself.
Look at that.
She did it when she was a puppy. She literally just said.
I mean, we're talking about the same dogs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, your dog's a model, so let's
yes, we're talking about the same dog that has been in music. Yes. Shout out to Milkbone. Yes. Shout out to Self One in New Jersey.
Shout out to Milkbone from Amboy stand up.
Amboy in the building, man.
Come on, man. Like, we have a very talented town, but this is what I want to ask you is that where we going? Like, how was the pandemic for you, and where we going with this? Like, because I know you're making this move to Vegas, and you know what I mean, like. Do you feel like that's somewhere you could continue to build your platform? Oh,
absolutely. So where things are going, honestly, I already knew I was gonna leave Atlanta in like another year or two. It just kind of like happened a little faster. Yeah, personally, I've never been. So guys, this is gonna be interesting, and I very well may document this. I've never been to Vegas.
You should document it. That'd be dope.
Yeah, I've never been to Vegas. I've never been to the West Coast. Yeah. I've always wanted to go to the West Coast. I've always wanted to live in the West Coast.
Me too, definitely.
So this opportunity, it's just crazy how everything just fell into play together.
Universe.
Yeah, it's the universe. And honestly, I really do think that my abuelo has a big part of it. Because before
that's
all
grandfather
of this
in Spanish.
Yeah, grandfather in Spanish. My abuelo, my grandfather Santo, he passed away a couple months ago, and for me, he was my immortal. He was the one person I thought like could never die, and it was crazy because right after he did, 3 days later, I met Coda. I met my boyfriend. Then cutting up with Katana J happened, and then now this whole Vegas thing is happening, and then it's like. Holy shit, like, whoa, like all these things that I wanted. And I'll never forget, you know how Hispanic old people are. Y tu novio, where's your boyfriend? Do you have a boyfriend? For 8 years, I had no boyfriend to tell of.
That's a fact.
So the first time I had one to tell of, he wasn't here anymore to tell of. But I really did feel like all of this, it happened because it was supposed to, like, he kind of like was like, all right, hold up here.
He knows.
Yeah. And it's crazy because like you said, I've never been to Vegas. I only seen him in movies and pictures and stuff like that. And with everybody says with my energy, my style, how I am. That's what everybody says.
Your swag, the way you do your makeup, just in general, your swag, your style, you fit into Vegas. I've never been there either, but I know plenty of people who've been to Vegas, and you see Vegas all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
No, they don't call it vicinity for no reason. On top of the fact that we hustle, and I'm sure that you can go out there and
keep that hustle mentality.
Yeah, like that's gonna be nothing to you. I'm very excited to see you making moves because we moved from Jersey. It's a lot of people that don't move out of Jersey
at all.
They don't have no aspirations on growing, and it's not that they don't want to grow.
They don't fathom it. They don't fathom it.
A lot of people are scared to move out of state, but once they move out, they don't want to come back. I haven't looked back since.
Ever.
I haven't looked back since. I'm not saying that I don't miss home because I do, but in general, you know what I'm saying? Atlanta is where it's at right now. Like, it really is where it's at. But anywhere outside of where you're from, that's how you grow. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't travel and if you don't get out the country, like I've been to Jamaica before, but I plan on getting.
I've been on the
Yeah, it's time to get out the country. So
Puerto Rico don't count.
Yeah, it does.
It's a Commonwealth of the United. You don't need a passport.
I know that's what kills me.
Because I don't have a passport, but that's what I need
one. When I was young, when I went to Jamaica, I think my cousin has it. I don't know. Nice. But I think we have to, you have to
renew it after.
And some places you have to do it 90 days before you're taking that trip. So there's a lot.
Yeah.
So traveling is important.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you pay and I'm traveling, honey,
Facts.
or by all means, I'm flying out if you're paying for
So
it.
do you plan on still cutting up with Katana J?
Oh, well, hell yeah. So this is a great part about it, guys. So being here with you within the know with Joe and stuff like that, and working with JViz Productions and stuff like that, and TOV Digital, it's cool because you guys have such a wide variety of options for
Remote
your people.
broadcasting, baby.
Remote broadcasting, live broadcasting. The studio alone. How many times have we switched up our ambience? And it's just because, hey guys, you know, we feel like doing it over there.
He just flicked your picture online, and that was actually the picture that she took in front of the mirrors, and actually the room over here. We did a photo shoot, so there's a lot of
Oh
visuals
yeah,
over
yeah,
here.
that was over here.
Yeah, right over here. You did the one in the office here. So
Braids.
A lot of visuals, but at the end of the day, while you're in Vegas, we could do remote broadcasting.
Absolutely, and that's the cool part about it is that now we're going to be in multiple areas, and now we can provide options to people like, hey, like in my show Cutting Up with Katana J a couple episodes ago, I interviewed RC Ashley, the tattoo artist in Staten Island, while she was tattooing me.
Yeah, that's pretty
but
nice.
You guys were out here in Atlanta still.
That's right.
Broadcasting, editing it. Wow!
Shout out to TOV Digital Media. Shout out to this monster. When I tell you, this man brings everything from everywhere into one spot, one-stop shop, baby. TOV Digital. Make sure you follow the Instagram because it's important to understand with this pandemic right now. I mean, he's been doing this for a while.
Oh yeah,
this is nothing new to him. But it's kind of like on my last podcast where I was just talking about how, you know, the guy was talking about how he's preparing for the next year and everything, and I'm like, yo, this guy's been doing that for a minute, like.
Right.
This remote broadcasting stuff is getting popular now because of the pandemic, but
he was doing that.
Since I met him, we've been talking about
what was that, like
shit,
a year and a half ago, over 2 years ago when we first met him?
Yeah, I mean, I met him.
When we did Sweet Auburn?
No, listen, I actually met him before that, and we're not gonna say how we met. We know how we met. We don't rock with those people no more. But you know how sometimes people come in your life for a reason, and then you meet the right people. The person I met him through, though, shout out to Doughboy Television. You know what I'm saying? Doughboy Worldwide. That's our people's right there. That's how I really met him, through my boy Nobi. Shout out to Nobi. You know what I'm saying? You meet people through a photo shoot, and then me and him did. They put me on game one day at the ATL Homicide season 2 premiere. And I was like, yo, come rock with us. Ever since that, me and him been rocking. But you know, we bring people together, and then people don't hold their end of the bargain. But at the end of the day, we solid because we still rock.
Right. As long as you stay solid,
gotcha.
The weak pieces they're gonna fall. You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna lie though.
It's okay.
He warned me plenty of times, like, yo, sit back, relax, and watch, Jay. And I ain't gonna lie, this shit happened, yo. Like, damn, that shit really happened. Damn, you called the date and everything, though.
Right, like, damn, the
these motherfuckers is gonna fall off. Like, but that's how it goes. If you can't be, listen, this is very important to understand that you can't be in a barter situation and just one-way barter. You know what I mean? Like, this is a networking process. You're not gonna go on Facebook and say, hey, I got a bike for you, but just give me the bike. Like, that shit don't make no sense to me. Like, if you're on my show, I'm gonna shout your show out, the production, everything. Right. So it happens. So one thing I would say, the networking is great in Atlanta, but there's a lot of advantage taking going on.
Yes, and that's one. And it's not just with work stuff. It's with everything.
Oh, it's everything.
People don't move to Atlanta single.
No, that's a fact.
Don't move to Atlanta single.
Yo, why was I just telling your man? So you just interviewed, talking about how he's single on Atlanta. I said, bro, this is Atlanta, bro. You
don't want to be single in Atlanta, first of all.
I've been married 13 years. Shout out to my wife.
Shout out, Miss Tia.
Shout out to my baby, because look, that is a plus. I ain't gonna lie. Being married and locked down, it takes away a lot of work.
All of that pressure.
It's
a lot of pressure out here.
Single. You feel better now, right?
What? And let me tell you something, because I never really like the part. So the point in life where I was, or where I had been, was I was more focused on myself and my career, really focused on my spirituality. Because the way that I thought about it, I'm like, bro, there's a reason why that whenever I have conversed with someone or something like that, it has fallen through. It's because I need to focus on me. So if you focus on yourself while someone else is focusing on themselves, you guys are going to end up being in the same level and crossing each other's paths one day, because you guys have like things about you. And the crazy part was like how I ended up, meeting my boyfriend and stuff like that. It was, girl, I was bored and I made a fucking Facebook dating app.
Shut up.
I swear to God. I swear to God. And I did not believe. I never believed that those things are ever gonna work.
Me either.
I literally was just like, bro, my grandfather just died. I have no friends. I need to get the fuck out the house.
That was for a reason.
It was for a reason. And then with him, he was, I'm bored out here by myself, single too, and I need some weed.
All the way in Dougieville.
And I live far as fuck. Where the weed at? So I mean, I had no problem with being that person that, yo, I'll bring you the weed, no problem. I'm bored. I need to hang out. And so when we ended up hanging out, literally, and while I was driving there. And the reason why I'm telling this story is for a reason. I'm gonna tell y'all. When I was driving, I was talking to my best friend Danny Ray, and I was like, "Bro, we were listening to a tarot card reading in the morning.
Listening to it.
On YouTube, listening to it because I don't really like. I don't sit there and watch. I'll just listen to it, and do my thing. Mm-hmm. So, Cancer Moon Tarots, I love him on YouTube, and he was talking about vulnerability and how me as a Pisces, I need to practice and work on vulnerability more because although I am very I love to help people and be open to people, stuff like that. Is certain vulnerabilities I'm hard with. So that's all we kept saying was like, don't have no expectations. Don't have no expectations. Just hang out. Just hang out. Yeah. And bro, to be honest with you, literally since the first day I hung out with him, we were only apart from each other one day. And it was because I had to record a music video. And then a week and a half because I went back home to Jersey to record and do body painting. Like that. Ever since we met each other, we've been attached at the hip, and it's been natural. I'm not tired of being around him. He's not tired of being around me.
There's the different breed. I will tell you about people from Amboy. And I don't know if it's an Amboy thing, but specifically, when I met my wife, she moved in with me like a week in. And I've been with her 13 years, so there's no saying that y'all moving too fast or whatever. Right. I met my wife when she was 4 months pregnant with my son who just turned 13. Shout out to Jaden who just became a teenager.
Hey, shout out, happy birthday!
I'm gonna put his beat on my intro this year, so he gonna have his beats on my intro. But he has autism. That's why I love your wristband.
Yes,
and I love
shout out to Purple Heart
too. I like the tattoo with the puzzle pieces as well because it's important because people don't understand you could be with somebody. Fall in love right away. I believe in that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Old school, but I've been with her for 13 years, married 9 years. My youngest son's 9 years old, been married 9 years, 13 years I've been with her. Mm-hmm. When I tell you that, it's always ups and downs, but it's different when you got to ride or die and you meet somebody that's the one.
Right. Now
she walked into my job pregnant. Big as hell. I'm a manager at Zales in Woodbridge Mall. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I want to marry her.
I fucking remember you working at Zales.
Look at that. And then I met her. She came with her friend that never got married. Manifestation. How about this? Her friend came in with a friend and they went to get a ring. They broke up and everything. But we met that day.
You guys met that day and ended up getting married. Wow.
Shit happens for a reason.
And honestly, and what happens is, like I said, guys, to be honest with you, when you legitimately just live your life and don't expect it and don't force it, and it's not that it just comes, but it's like it's supposed to. Yeah. It's not like it's okay. I got somebody. Okay, I'm dating him for a little while. No, like this is your person, my nigga. Like for real. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy how like I said again, everything just tying in together. Because even with him now, look, he's been here for hours and he's chilling.
But that's what we do.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy. And like any other relationship that I had or talked to somebody, I've never had them come on set with me. Nothing. No. And it's just the energy is it's when you have that true, genuine support, you know what I mean? It's dope, and it's like, it's cool because it ends up becoming like they say, an empire in its own, where it's like, okay, well, that I like making paintings. You push my paintings. I know that you're a very well basketball player. We push your stuff. We know that you do so. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, it's a give and take on stuff. But it's crazy, like you said, how everything has to happen. Like I moved to Atlanta, and I always said it. I said I was gonna be. I said I was gonna be single until I moved to the West Coast. The person that took my singleness away from me is taking me to the West Coast.
That's what I'm saying.
My nigga, I be manifesting shit.
Facts.
Nah.
That's a fact. Like it happened exactly the way you want it. We are rounding to the end of the show.
Right.
Usually I like to let's talk about what's going on for Katana for the next year, because now you're moving. Right. So you got a lot going on in Atlanta, but what's your plan? And we got a few more minutes left, so we'll touch it. But what's your plan for Vegas?
For Vegas?
Yeah,
okay.
Like what's What's your brand going?
Okay, so the Katana J brand, the Toxic Bear brand, Shalom and all that brand, we're still gonna keep on going. We're still gonna keep on pushing. Anything as far as like, let's say like Atlanta's Ugly is concerned and stuff like that, I'm still gonna try to figure out a way to get that shit popping.
Okay.
One way or another, I am not going to give up on that show. I love Atlanta's Ugly. The director, shout out Reality directs,
That's
acts,
the dude with the dreads,
edits. Yes, the dude with the dreads.
Okay. He be everywhere.
He does everything. It's so dope. The show pulls numbers. I know it's gonna hit network. I know it's gonna.
Shout out to all the Wizards of Oz, like TOV Digital Media, because people don't realize the work that's being put on behind like the editing, the production. Like, yo, listen, they don't get enough shine at all. I say all the time, I'm the one with the gift of the gab. I talk, I make shit happen, but that man right there, if it's not for him, none of this stuff gets done. And people don't understand that, like, producers and engineers, they don't get no love.
Credit.
My boy Zoe, the engineer, when I had him on last season.
Oh yeah, I know Zoe.
Like, but he said all the time, like, we don't get no love, dog. And it's like, yo, none of this stuff goes down. Like, we got, you know what I'm saying, Combos Create Change. We come, they would be there like an hour early just setting up.
Right.
Like, just the setups be crazy when you're doing, you know, mobile setups and stuff. Like, it's no joke. It's a lot of wiring. It's figuring out who got what. If the electricity's gonna bust out. If I could put these 4 mics.
Do they have strong enough Wi-Fi?
Like,
is everything charged?
While you live streaming, you gotta be security, production. You gotta do all that.
Make sure people don't steal your shit.
So for one or two of us to be there to help him, it's just a plus for him because it's no joke. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, even us trying to keep people, you know, time. You know what I'm saying? The time slots right.
Right.
There's always a situation. Like today alone, this man must have did like 5 or 6 podcasts.
Man, for real.
And one day, the type of things you do, you might see the content without 2.
Right. I wish I could turn the camera around just to show you.
His face, because I'm trying to tell you, but this is normal. But this is.
Shut up.
But I'm gonna tell you why though. And right before we wrap, because he told me a long time ago, his goal is to be, you know, what I'm saying, a master videographer. Like, get to that status where I don't care. And this man told me a lot because I don't care what you think about what I'm doing. I'm doing what I do for me to build and to grow. Right. I'm not doing it for clout. I don't, you know, specific clients we don't even mess with. If you come up to me and ask me, yo, I want to do a music video in Bankhead and hood. We're not doing it. No, it's just not the look we want. It's not about who and what's gonna be there, whatever. We want a professional, clean look. This is a network where we do podcasts. You know, like In the Nose of Joe's and then Cutting Up with Time, but we also do a lot of sports things here. So and he's affiliated with a lot of people in sports. That's why we're gonna eventually bring your man on because you didn't tell me he played a basketball. So
he plays ball. Like he was in D1 college ball.
Because we do a lot of you know, sports things here, and that's things we like to expose. So, you know, we like to keep the same brand, but people don't realize that work that goes in. And that's why I bring you on today, to show the people that somebody like you, somebody like David could be doing all this work, but you never know what's going on personally in somebody's life.
At all.
Expose that, you know what I mean?
Right, absolutely. And even like you were saying, it's more than just like when you're starting out on your own, you're a one-stop shop, bro. Like, you got to know how to record your shit, edit your shit, make sure. And even with people nowadays not having proper media training, because anybody can just put up a camera and just start talking. But it's that knowing how to have that, you know, like that structure or that natural, being able to be a conversationalist and how to keep it going natural. It's not easy to do. And that's why I said this shit get tiring sometimes, like where sometimes after the shows, like for my best friend Danny Ray specifically, when I used to do her makeup, it would be her Zen moment. We'll light some Palo Santo, play some music, talk a little bit. You know, you got to get into your zone and stuff like that. But also the same, it's just like with tarot cards. When you get into your zone, you got to have that out too. So for me at least, when I'm done with my shows, I like to try to do something to kind of like, okay, I got to morph down from Katana J back to Jasmine now. Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like I said, before we wrap it up and I let you get into the in the note quote, understand that the work doesn't stop here. Once this episode is done, he will go into the lab and continue to work. And people got to understand that.
And that turnaround time is disgusting.
Same thing for you, because I'm going to let y'all know real soon coming out is my animated logo for the In the Know with Joe. Cat's working on it right now. And I call it Cat. That's just my boys call it Cat. They be like, when's Auntie Cat coming over? So before you leave, you definitely got to come check the boys. But
absolutely.
What I do on my podcast a lot is I let my guests give out a quote, a saying, something you want them to stay with, something you want to let them know, because they got to be in the know with us. So let them know, let the people know what you want to say to them, and then tell them where they can follow you on all your platforms.
Okay. So, well, first, you guys can follow me on all my platforms. My Instagram is official Katana J. My Snapchat is a little different. It's called Neverland 3284 because I feel like I'm a lost boy, even though I'm a female, I'm a lost boy. my Facebook, Katana J. Everything you can just find me, Katana J Immortal, Katana J. My YouTube is Katana J Immortal. You can check out all my cutting up with Katana J is there. Any little like videos of me like teaching myself how. So what I'm doing is I'm teaching myself how to draw, but also showing you guys videos so that if you want to learn how to do it, you can do it too. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And let's see, a quote
It could be
for
anything.
you.
It could be a word. It could be something you just like to say. It could be anything. You can't say shalom and all that because that's how you say it. Yep, you can't.
Get it out of here. That's up here.
I know what you was about to say. But anything.
Okay. So what I would basically say is, I guess, like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna give my other grandfather, rest in peace, my grandpa Joaquin. He had this saying, and I swear, it's from there. You know, the only you can prevent forest fires.
Yeah.
But for me, the way that I took it, because he said it when he was really heavy in his Alzheimer's before he passed. And he used to be a DARE police officer. So I guess that's where it came from. But for me, after he died, it was like the theme for that year. Right, because only you can prevent your own forest fires. Only you can prevent yourself from popping off at the top, from allowing something to happen. Only you can, because only you can control you. That's one of my favorite sayings. Only you can control you. You know when to start and stop an emotion. You know when to laugh. You know when to cry. You know when to be upset. You know when to be happy. So
true.
know when to, like, start working on controlling yourself for the sake of you.
Yeah, because when you said that, you know, I thought exactly that. Only you can prevent the forest fire because you burn your own building down.
Right.
You burn your own bridges. But that's a dope saying, and I really appreciate you, sis, coming on my show. This is the relaunch of In the Know with Joe. I want you guys to understand the importance of staying hydrated. Well, Quano, hydrate, baby. Stay hydrated, baby. Make sure you follow. And if you want the adult spike drinks, holla at us because we mix them up. We do everything. Just holla. And you already know this is a TOV Digital Media production, JVIT's production. And you can check us on eStream Live Network, TOV Digital YouTube. I don't know why I keep on messing that up today, but it's been a while. But I'm back in the building. By my next episode, I'll have that right. It's so much to say, but I really appreciate you, sis. Blessed.
Yes,
thank you.
I
hope
your
journey goes amazingly great. I know you guys are gonna do the right thing and do it right. This was another episode of In the Know with Joe. I'm your boy Joe, aka JViz, JVIZ _ shots with a Z. Follow us. Peace.